Before I start too, Matt Batiste knew I was having you on, and he literally was like, "Tell them I say hi, and I love them."
Well, hell yeah.
I
Thanks,
love
man.
Matt.
Oh, such a kind, just wonderful, genuine person, and he was just like so stoked about this. So he's excited if he's watching or listening to this when it comes out. What's up, Matt Batiste?
Yo, Matt.
But again, so the first question I ask everybody that comes on here, and you guys can all answer this, kind of bringing it back to like a younger you, and your first memory of falling in love with music, and maybe not necessarily picking up an instrument or anything like that, but like where you truly fell in love and you were like, there's more to this than, hey, I just like that song.
A very good question.
Yes, I do remember. I was in grade six and I just walked out of Walmart with the Bullet in the Bible CD from Green Day, which contained a live DVD. And I was like, whoa, yeah, this is like, to me, music was always like in a music video or like on a CD player. But that was like the first time I really got to see like live music, like really being played, like the ones that like the stuff that I was trying to listen to. And at such a young age, I think that really influenced me because I think I just like from that point on, I just started drawing myself in like a fictitious band with like it was one in the center, it was me, and then there's like I'm not shit you not, three other members.
Me.
And yeah. And I remember I drew that picture and I laminated it. And I was like, I'll literally do this one day. And I literally thought of it. And just this past weekend, we played a show with hometown heroes of ours, 10 Second Epic, and another band called The Red Threat. And both of those bands are really, really important to like inspiring me personally. And I know Connor for sure. That's just like you can do music and you can also be from Edmonton, Alberta. And like all of all of that just started with that little CD I bought in Walmart as a young kid. And I was just like just mystified that it had such a cascading effect. So that's really what was my moment.
I love that. And a lot of people, it is Green Day and or Blink-182. That's like a number one answer. And I get it. And that is really cool and interesting that one moment you maybe didn't even think about it at that time. And then you look back now and it's wild. Like I have some of those too myself. And I just think back, like, where would I be if I didn't have those moments? So that's awesome. So what about you, Brad?
I have a very specific memory involving Blink-182. Yes.
Hmm.
That was a little later though. I think my first one that I can remember is probably being around like 10 to 12 years old, and my older cousin brought I remember like meeting him for like Christmas break or something, and he was like, "Yo, you have to check out this CD." And he had a CD of Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit,
Hmm.
and we listened to both of those, and I was like obsessed with new metal for a while, and it was just like a whole new kind of music that at the time where you weren't hearing on the radio, and nobody else listened to it, and it was just felt like such a like a private club to discover that kind of music, and none of my friends knew about it, and I was the person that got to distribute it to everybody that I knew. So that was a very specific memory for me getting into like alternative music.
Oh, I think yeah, I think Limp Bizkit and Linkin Park were the gateways for so many. I myself, like, I love so much music, but it was that new metal era, and like, listen, we have 2025. We had a new Limp Bizkit song come out. They're still killing it. Saw them like last summer here in New Jersey at like this outdoor fest, and it was packed. So people are still finding it and into that music, and as cool as people like don't want to say like, oh, I do listen to it because I think maybe it's uncool. It's like no, it's here. It's a part of music. Like without new metal, what would we have? Like you look at bands like Silly Goose right now that are killing it in the new metal era. So they wouldn't be there without Limp Bizkit. So I love that.
Yep.
And what about you, Connor?
Well, my story is sort of similar to Luke's in that I saw a live video. Now, I grew up on like more classic rock and stuff like that. So I remember probably when I was about 12, my dad got me the Led Zeppelin Mothership discography thing. It was like 3 or 4 discs in one, and it had a live disc of them playing at the end and just watching those guys on stage and like the energy they brought to playing music was something that I didn't expect to like you didn't pick up on it as much on the recordings, but watching it, I was absolutely mesmerized. And I've just for years, I think I would just put that on and just dream about being on stage and doing some of the stuff that I saw Jimmy Page do, like with a violin bow on the guitar, and like it just opened up a whole new world of like what live music actually is. So that's mine.
I love that. And different answer. Usually, like a lot of people like don't give artists like that, and they should. They're really, really important to just music. And I love that you shared that. And I guess from falling in love with music to now you get to play it and tour and have those moments. How does it feel then to, yes, you fell in love with music, but then you get to be there on stage and have those moments and those emotions of singing your own songs and knowing that someone's connecting to your songs the way you connected with other songs.
That is probably the coolest part is like knowing how much of an impact that stuff had on me when I was young. And then as we've progressed, because it's been a long road for us. It's like when we first started, we were playing to nobody and we were writing music that probably nobody was hearing. But now, like with the growing fan base and having people reach out and say and tell us how much our songs mean to them, and like some people have told me a certain song of ours is their favorite song ever, and like that is a super cool feeling to be able to be that for somebody else.
Yeah.
It's bonkers.
It is bonkers.
I can only imagine because I know as a fan how I feel when I listen to music. And I mean, I'm not a writer of music. I can't even play. I'm trying to play guitar. It's not clicking, but we have like 5 weeks because I said till the end of the year I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. But I think it's really special when I hear artists that create music say that and maybe if fans hear that like hey maybe they don't always maybe they may be a little shy at a show or something like it's great for the musicians to hear that there's an impact there and what you're making and one of the things and why I wanted you on here is you're big on talking about mental health, whether it's in your lyrics or you just talk about it on a reel or something like that. For you, is music that catharsis for you guys?
Well, shit, dog. It's everything. Like, let me tell you one thing. At the end of the day, it's kind of like this weird, oh man, this weird, like, it almost feels selfish that I want to like put out something that I like, that I love, and then it's gets me like insecure in a way where, I'm writing these songs for me, but at the end of the day, someone else has to enjoy it. So lots of the times when I'm writing a song, I don't think about that. I just like I need to say what I want to say. And to me, when somebody comes up to me and they're like, "Hey man, like this song, like I relate to it so much," my first thing is like, "Man, I'm so sorry." Like that's tough. Like I'm so like, but also like, and if they say like, "Yo, this song got me through a tough point in my life," I'd be like, "Yo, dog, me too." That's what this song is did for me, like what it can do for you. And it feels nuts that people connect to it in that way. And like I just love creating. I love creating music. And I think it's really, really special that people out there not only want to listen to it, but now they're like supporting it as well. They want to ensure that we can keep doing this. And I think that's the craziest part for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
I think too for you, do you think like creating, you mentioned that, do you think that just creation in general is just that aid to mental health, whether it is music or not, but that ability to sit there and I don't want to say maybe lose yourself, but lose yourself in that moment of, I mean, when you're struggling yourself. Um, it's almost like when the song's completed, you're just like, yeah, that helped is going to help in just the overall like process of creation.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't really, a part of me doesn't really think about it even as like helping mental health. It's just kind of something my spirit wants to do. You know, like the soul inside finds it healing to do these things. And it's like, I think that's what at least the purpose is just, find stuff that makes you happy inside the soul. Make stuff that, release a weight that you've been carrying, however that may be. If you lift a weight at a gym, go break stuff at a rage room, or just like, paint a picture. All of these things can absolutely just help your state. Like it's if I feel like humans innately want to create and want to be artists. Why do all kids love painting and finger painting and making sandcastles and having imaginary friends? Humans want to do that. And I think it's just so important for the soul that like even on a micro scale, just doing that for yourself as a person, even if it's not art for the world, it can be art for you. And I think that all art is healing.
I love that. And Brad or Connor, do you have anything to add for your own personal way music has been that catharsis and creation?
I mean, a little bit. Luke covered it pretty well. But I think kind of building on his point, like me and I think probably a lot of other people like have trouble expressing emotion sometimes. So I think writing music specifically, and I'm not even talking lyrics, like a lot of the time for me, like just playing guitar and just putting my feelings into sound is is healing and I think it's important. It's like sometimes it's the only way to get things out if you don't have the words for it. And I remember feeling like before we put out our first big album that like I had all this like pent up energy and stuff. And like I felt like when we finally released the album and it was just our first album, I was like, okay, like this is kind of crazy to say, but like I can die now. Like I got it out there. Like
Hmm.
there was so much that
Oh,
went
for
into
real.
that I know that sounds crazy because like the whole goal of our career is to keep putting out music, but that was really something that I was like, this is a weight off of me and like getting it out to the world. And like it's nerve-wracking too at the same time, putting that stuff out there and just hoping that it resonates with people. But like Luke said, at the end of the day, I think what's most important to us is that we like and or love what we're doing. And I truly enjoy the music that I write. So it's like at the end of the day, I write it for me, Luke writes it for him. And if other people like it, then that's great. But it's for us at the core of it.
Word, dog.
I love that because I think some people maybe don't think that, right? I mean, maybe they do. Like as the listener, they think this is for like they made this for me, and that it can still exist. But I love to hear that, you're saying that, hey, like I needed this. This is something one you're proud of, but also that like you just mentally or just physically you need it in that moment, and it's gonna live on forever, which is
Well,
really amazing to think about too.
I think
Yeah,
I'll add on to this conversation as well as that something that people will ask me. They'll come up to me and they'll be like, "Hey man, what does this song mean?"
Mm.
And now I always respond to that with my own question. I'm like, "Well, what does it mean to you?" And then they'll tell me. And then I'll say, "Then that's what it means." Like, yeah, we write it for ourselves and yeah, there's a meaning behind all these words, sure. But when we put it out there, that song can be whatever you need it to be. Because it's whatever we need it to be for us, you know? So I
to
think
go
that's
on
like
my
that's an
own.
important, yeah.
I love that. I really, and I love that you're going to say that, and fans of yours or anyone just listening is going to hear that, because I think a lot of us too sometimes are in that phase where there's so many songs that I'll listen to, and like any band, and I'll say it's about this, like this is what I'm, and then of course, you read an interview and it's completely the opposite, and then you almost feel like silly going up to someone and saying what you think it is. But I think that that's really special that you can have that moment with a fan. I don't even want to say fan, like just a
I'll say a
member,
supporter, man.
supporter. Yeah,
Like these people aren't fans and like they really support what we do. Like I think that's at the end of the day, that's really all you can ask for as an artist is just to people to support your art.
absolutely. And Brad, do you have anything to add, or do you think like Luke and Connor really summed it up?
Yeah, no, they summed it up pretty good. The only thing I was going to say is, there's times where like I'll have a bad day and I like need to play guitar and I'll crank the distortion and put my headphones on and just like create something nasty and ugly and just like get out all of those feelings, and then when I'm done with it I can just put it down and it leaves with the guitar. And so that is kind of cathartic sometimes. And there's like a freedom in that. And like in most cases, if I write something that I like or that's good, then I want to record it or make a note of it or something. But sometimes it's good to just like play it with the intent of letting it die.
I love that. Because even like, right, just even me trying to learn guitar, just like a stringing of a string, just doing a chord. And I just feel that. And maybe, hey, I needed to sit down in this moment with this instrument. Am I good at it? No. Am I creating music? No. But I'm able to be there in that moment. So I love that. And I mean, too, we talk about just moments of, you mentioned a little bit like a full circle moment you had recently as well with 10-second epic, but also we have to talk about Luke and Connor, you guys, the way you met with a dropped guitar pick. I think I was hearing in an interview once. Do you ever think about, if that moment didn't happen and that dropped guitar pick, where you would be in music today?
Oh geez, I don't actually think about that a lot, but that's
No,
funny.
that was a
That you bring
canon
that
event.
up.
That's like one of those things that's like across the multiverse. It remains the same.
Yeah, it's
Like
the pick always drops, but it's what we do
yeah, the
first.
pick always drops, like so I won't entertain a universe where that happens.
But adding to that a little bit, I guess if I had to think about it, that moment didn't really like it was a long time, I think, from that to like when Luke and I started professionally playing music. But that was the moment we became friends, and then we became best friends pretty quickly. So I think we're pretty lucky, the two of us, to have been like best friends for so long before we even attempted something like this. Because it's really tough, like trying to tackle music as a career. So I think we're just lucky to have someone who's been there through like so much other stuff before that. And although it was all started with guitar, like for a long time, we just played music with each other. Like Luke was a drummer, I was a guitar. We'd just get home from school and just jam for hours. Like there was no point to it, and there didn't have to be.
And there was
It didn't
never
have to
like
be good. A lot of the time, it was better when it wasn't good because it was funny and it was like we would like make jokes musically. I don't know if that makes sense
yeah,
to
no,
you,
it was
but
legit. Like you
we
could
would
like
like
fake
make each
someone
other
out
laugh
like
by
oh
like doing silly shit that's like I don't know. So I think that's pretty cool that we didn't just like we're not just like in a band together. There's like a lot more history behind that, and I think that kind of adds to how we write music together. And now with Brad and Tim, like we're all best friends. We're all super tight, and it's just a cool progression of how you can go from not knowing someone and like one little thing like a guitar pick can start a whole trajectory. And here we are, like what, 15 years later, Luke? Almost 16
yeah,
years later.
hold on. Um I'll have to do the math, but I think we legitimately
Oh,
crossed the point.
we didn't pay attention in math class because we were
Yeah.
too busy playing music. So
Uh, playing music. Um,
yeah.
uh, so I think we literally crossed the point where we've known each other longer than we didn't.
Whoa.
And I think that happened like just now,
Right now?
like pretty much now, like like September, October. I mean,
Crazy.
it's
Wow.
November, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that is cool. Yeah.
That's so special too. Like that's really like special to have someone like that. And again, then you get to create this music with it. Like that's almost like the bonus, right? Of having this friendship and then getting to carry that. And another big reason I wanted to have you on here is seeing the video for A New Type of Gray. I think music videos are one of those things that nowadays a lot of people don't realize how, like, when we were younger, like I'm in my mid 30s, they're so important and the messages in them. And hearing you guys talk about that, I think it was so important. And I would love to kind of give you the floor, I mean, to talk about that because I think doing a little bit of research after watching the music video, it made me want to go do research about just 53% of the Indigenous children are in foster care. And then I dug into like the residential schools and the history there in Canada. And just for someone, for me that lives in the States, I really was ignorant to that and what was going on. And what made you kind of decide as well, like for this song to have that moment in the music video?
It's a good question. Um, well, as far as the video, I think it's a obviously it's a story that I've seen, you know. It's a story that's not even far away from my family. And I think well, what really started that video and like how that concept even like came together was we were given a few concepts by this like amazing director and his name's Dylan,
Versa Films.
Versa Films. And he had a bunch of concepts and I really liked these two different concepts that he had. And there's a kind of a story I wanted to tell in a music video with us. And it was about the overwhelming fight that like foster children have to go through, especially the indigenous ones that not only get displaced from their family, but now they're displaced from their culture as well, which is, you know, it's very something, or it's very difficult to navigate through something like that, and especially as a young kid. And I've always wanted to tell that story because, like, right now, what I do, like, where I work, is a place called Métis Child and Family Services. My mom has been the program manager there for like 35 years. She's been helping as much kids as possible, goes to bat for them. She's a huge advocate. And my dad too, he, you know, he worked in social services as well. And unfortunately, he was also part of the system when he was growing up. He was part of the 60s scoop. And it's just crazy that this story was so close to home. And there's so many people that are around me that not only don't even think about it, but they've never had the opportunity to learn about it. Now that's an important thing to say there because it's there's a lot of responsibility put on people with if they don't know something, but how can they know about something if it's not right in front of them sometimes? Nobody's going on the internet to be like looking up terrible things that happened all the time to, you know, it's
Hmm.
like lots of people don't want to invite that type of historic, you know, trauma to like their lives. They don't want to like read about it, they want to hear about it. But I think we're in a position where now we're expressing ourselves in an art form that at the end of the day is for us to tell a story, for us to get something through. Now, when Dylan brought us these concepts, it was so easy for us to fit this story inside it. Because I think that was the one thing that we were lacking for a long time is that we didn't really have a song that it could be put to, and we didn't have a budget that could do it. You know, we would need lots of moving parts, and I think because Dylan was the one that wrote the story. You know, we had a consultant go through the storyboard with us as well as me. Like I talked to my dad about it just to make sure everything was like accurate, but not like damaging in a way. So I wanted to really treat this story with a lot of care. And a new type of gray in its nature is from the song alone, you can pertain that it's about something down the middle. It's a new type of gray between the black and white because life isn't black and white. But looking at it in a gray sense all the time can leave us pretty numb to, you know, the positives and the negatives, the black and the white, right? So this new type of gray can be just meaning a different way to look at it. It's not any of those three things. It's like your own perspective. You know, you get to look at it from your own sense of what the situation is for and how it affects you. And I think that was just the perfect song to tell the story to. And Dylan was an essential part of that as well, for not only just having the mind to be able to weave this into like a short 3 second film, you know, and yeah, it is an important issue, but if you don't know about all that, watch the video. If you haven't already, you know, just I'm not saying to go research it, but you know, if you have something that maybe you're not gonna pay attention to because it may be a hard topic for yourself, go check it out. You know, it doesn't have to be specifically in the indigenous issues that are happening in Canada, wherever you're listening to this from. Just just make sure you're keeping a mindful eye to what's happening around you and happening in your community because you know sometimes you can miss something and maybe someone needs a little bit extra help and you can do that for them. So just make sure you're, you know, doing good for yourself.
Yeah, again, yeah, I'm gonna link everything because I would love people if they didn't watch the video because again, we do live in a world where everybody who has like the short attention spans. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. You know, you're swiping, but it was something that just made me, and not only because I'm a fan, but just because I was like, this to me was something one just grabbed my attention. The imagery of it overwhelmed. I was just like, this is something that is just going to be so important, and I'm really happy that it's out there, although a very difficult topic and something we do need to talk about. But like I said, someone like myself that I was given the opportunity to learn about that and really sit with myself of that I had no idea about that. And, you know, here in the States, we have our own issues with our own systems here and everything. But it really just broke my heart. And again, anyone watching or listening, and if, you know, maybe you're not sure about that, but at least check out the video and maybe gain a new perspective on things that go on. And just, I think you really handled it with a lot of grace to go ahead and present that.
Thank you.
And to you, I mean, obviously, this single is off a new EP that is coming in January. I was sent it yesterday, so I've actually had it and I've gotten to listen to it. I was so
What do you
excited yesterday when
think?
I was like, well, by like the, you know, like the last second, it came into me. But I've been listening it, and I can just tell anyone that's listening to this, to me, it is some of your best work yet. It is
Thank you.
so good. As someone that like loves to hear bands kind of have like, yes, their signature sound, but also change. You know, you look for Blood that is so heavy. It is, I'm like so excited to get to see you guys play at some point to hear that live, see the crowd live. for you, what are you most excited about that people will hear on this new EP when it comes out?
The range,
Yeah.
I think that's it for me. Just like, yeah.
I am excited for a specific song. It's called Salt Lines. It's the last song on the EP, and I don't know, it's kind of my baby, but also like Luke and I write everything together, and that was one that I guess maybe speaking to what I said earlier about how expressing myself not only with words but with guitar riffs and like with music, that was how that came to be for me. And like I kind of wrote the whole song minus lyrics and then sent it to Luke. And within like a couple hours, I think he sent it back to me with basically the full version of how it sits today. And so it was really like raw. And
Yeah.
I find the songs that come together like that are often the most like touching or the most true to their form, where it's like it's not overproduced or like overthought. It's just like what we were feeling in that moment. Um, so that one's definitely my favorite, I would say, and I'm most excited for people to hear that one.
It's such a great song because it ends the EP, right? And it just is such a great way to end it on that note. And there's a couple mo like the last 5 or maybe 10 more seconds of it, you just hear like I just think because I'm a big person, I'm that EP and album listener. I want to sit down and listen and sit with a record from front to back and just sit there. And I just think that that is the perfect closer to that EP. And I know no anyone listening to this, you're not going to hear it till January, but come back to this because it's so just the placement is perfect.
Well, thank you for saying that because we do put a lot of time and effort into how the EP and for all of our albums, I think probably most bands do,
Hmm.
how it comes across as an album. So the fact that you think it also is a great way to end it is like we put a lot of effort into that. And I agree that's the perfect way for us to end that collection of songs. So I'm really pleased that that came across to you as well.
He's pleased.
All right, we
Thank
got
you.
we're good. We're and what about you, Brad? Anything to add?
Um, Hmm. I'm really excited for a song called Dark Clouds. It's going to be the focus track when the EP drops. We've been kind of like evolving our sound to include some other styles that weren't traditionally like part of the pop punk genre, and that's all from Luke's side project, right? So we've kind of like fused that sound into our like post-hardcore emo pop punk, and that song is just such a unique song, and the way that the music is fused together, and I think that one is going to be really special and is going to resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah, that has to be that was one of my immediate favorites to put on, and um, just because also I can picture things when I'm listening to it, being in the crowd, feeling the crowd during that specific song, and just how people may react to that, or like in their car even, and have a different moment. And that one for sure was just like. Yes, and again, it was like raining today. So I was just like, all right, I can feel this. And I'm that seasonal music listener. So that one for me hit all the boxes for like fall weather. And then obviously on this too, there's like a lot of aggression, whether you're tackling grief, identity on this one as well. For you, and obviously we already touched on it a lot with this specific EP. Do you think that it was almost like when you were done, it's finished, it's almost out there, you were almost just like, yeah, I'm so proud as a band that this we created this.
Oh yeah, I feel that every time. But by the time like now, I've been hearing these songs for a lot longer than y'all have now.
Sure.
So I'm already ready for the next stuff. I got some more shit to say now.
Fun fact about Dark Clouds, I think that was a song that almost made it on, was it Slowly Getting Better? Has it been
Holy
around?
shit. Yeah, it's been
Yeah, like
around.
That
You
one,
almost made it on a motion sickness.
I think it was even before that, but either way, it's been
Yeah.
a song for a long time, and we just had to figure out how to like work it into a group of songs.
Uh,
It just never felt like the right time until now. But I think it's the perfect accompaniment to all the rest of the sounds we have on this EP.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been around
And
for a while now.
the
Been
way
trying to
Dark
find
Clouds
a way.
goes into salt lines is
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I
That's a Luke and Connor 1-2 punch right there.
But
This
like that's what I'm almost talking about like when I listen to it, the placement. Like again, you guys are very good at that. And it's just one of those things of sitting down with it. It's like, all right, I'm gonna open it. Obviously it opens up with Call Me, which is another one of my favorites. It opens up and it's just, yeah. That transition, again, Dark Clouds, and just it's I can't put into words like someone like myself that's a fan listening to this is like, I can't wait for people to hear it because to hear, yes, there is that signature sound of yours, but again, you hear heaviness, you hear a little more grittiness in it, and just it it just as a fan, it makes me proud to listen to it. Like, yeah, more people are going to catch on to this. So again, like job well done with it because I can't wait to hear what happens with it in January.
Same.
same.
Thanks for saying that. Yeah, I mean, as a band, you're excited and you're nervous and you have a label who's like, well, you better sell some records. So we hope that people really like it. Because we want to keep
Yeah.
making. So
And if you haven't already, pre-save it if you're listening out there. That's the best way to help us. Pre-save and pre-order, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I always tell everyone too, like, and obviously too, follow artists on whatever platform too. That's a big thing. And engaging with things like that you put out there for you guys as well too, to kind of close this out as musicians too. And like we touched on it just there a little bit to help musicians. How do you keep your own mental health in check when, okay, you're about to release this, something you worked so hard, you're so passionate about, but there's an industry there, there are numbers needed, and just touring, the cost of touring these days is crazy and insane. How do you kind of keep that all in check when going towards a release to keep your mental health in check?
Don't think
I
about
think
it and blaze forward, baby.
it's all
Hell
about the
yeah.
team. It's about the team you have around you. Like the four of us are a huge support network for each other. We have our cats. Hi, Cowboy.
Yeah, this is Cowboy.
My cat is right
She's a
above
girl,
the
by
door.
the way.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it.
This is
Yeah.
Cowboy
Um,
the girl
Mine
cat.
scratching under the door.
yeah. But
There.
yeah, I think team is a huge part of it. And like, it's not just the four of us. Like when I say like we have the label that wants numbers, like yes, there's the business side to it, but also like the people at our label, they believe in us and like they're
You're like,
huge.
they're on our side.
Yeah, so it's not like we're I don't know, it's not like what you see in the movies where it's like guys in suits yelling at us. It's like no, our label reps and everyone that we work with is truly like they give us all the tools that we need. Our manager Cam, he like we wouldn't be able to do anything without him. Everybody on our team, booking agent, like the way Brad runs the social medias and everything, like it's
Yo,
all
shout out
super
Dylan,
important. And
our
like
engineer.
yeah, everyone to keep our mental health in check, like you got to lean on your team. Sometimes you can't be 100%, but that's when the rest of the team can kind of carry you through. So I feel pretty blessed to have the team that we do and the amount of stuff that we've all done together and been through together. It's kind of like whatever happens, we'll make it through and we'll still be us and we'll figure it out then.
Yeah. That's
Exactly. Just it's all gonna be okay. Just keep trudging forward. It'll sort itself out. Just gotta make sure you're keeping yourself good. However that may be, just make art, do little hobbies, sit with your cat,
Drink
you know,
water,
yeah.
drink water, drink sparkling water.
There
take
we
care of
go.
yourself, take care of your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And it's so true. And again, like looking forward to January 9th to have everybody hear this. I think it's just again, I job well done. I can't say it enough. I just love it so much. And I appreciate you guys coming on here and talking to me because this has been so cool. Like I said, I've done this for almost 2 years and you were always on that radar. I was like, I got to get them on somehow. I'm not quite ready yet. I tried in the beginning when my podcast was so new and it was like, yeah, you have like 50 followers. Like, that's probably not happening. So again, I appreciate you guys taking time for me and coming on here.
Well, I must say you do a really good job. Very insightful questions, and it was a pleasure to talk with you. And we'd love to come on again, maybe around when the EP comes out. We could
Oh
do it again
yeah.
and spread the good word. But
But
Yeah,
yeah, no, you're doing a great job. That was really it's nice when it's not just the typical questions like
oh
what
man.
are you doing next, and like sometimes.
Interview of the year, boys.
Yeah, I think this was one of my favorites that we've done in the
Yes,
last
like this
while. So kudos to you. We had a
appreciate
great time.
oh, I really appreciate that. And I actually have a funny weird connection is are you guys you've posted about it. There's a helicopter guy that is in your crowds in Philly.
Yeah, the
Um
Yeah,
helicopter guy.
yeah.
that my brother-in-law goes and has seen you play. He was there. That is his friend Rose. So like I
No.
know I cannot end
No
this
way, you
without
know the helicopter
I
guy's
know the
friend?
helicopter guy. And so my brother-in-law was like, you have to say that is bro. So when you guys posted that, I was like texting my brother-in-law. I'm like, hey, is that your buddy? And I saw him in the photo. And he was like, oh yeah, he's the helicopter guy. They'll know exactly who that is.
Yo, we got to
Holy
put helicopter
hell.
guy on a shirt. What's his name? Rose?
Rose.
Yo,
Rose.
Rose.
Rose. Okay, next time we're in
Yeah.
Philly, we'll do it again.
No, next time we come,
Again.
Rose, you are on the guest list. Plus
Oh,
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Come
cool.
helicopter, you're plus one.
I just couldn't believe it when I saw that post. I was like, oh my God, like that is my brother-in-law's friend. I need to message him right now and tag him. But they were all like, oh my God, I can't believe this. So they'll love that you guys definitely remember and know who he is.
Oh yeah, that was like a
Yeah.
highlight from from the last tour we did there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to see. I want to see. I want to see more of that.
Yeah.
That was a crazy pit move. I've literally never, ever in any other show seen somebody helicopter another person in the pit. So
Yeah, it's a
Legends
first for
are.
everything, right? But
yeah.
again, I feel like I've kept you guys long enough, and I really appreciate you again so much.